Good evening and welcome to Sunday Express. This is the last day of the month of May. Tomorrow will be the 1st of June, a day when Kenya commemorates the Madaraka Day, and the celebrations are in Wajir County. And everything is in place and complete as President William Ruto prepares, of course, to address the country from Wajir tomorrow. And that makes Wajir the first county in northeastern Kenya to host a national celebration. Here are tonight's highlights. Equitable development. President William Ruto directs affirmative action for northern Kenya counties. All set for the Madaraka Day celebrations in Wajir County on Monday.
Let this thing never even come here. If Uganda have closed their border, as my brother said, how is it that we are allowing again anybody, even with the symptoms?
And opposition leaders oppose plans to put up an Ebola facility for American patients. Byron Abuli is a sign language interpreter. My name is John Jacob Kioria. You're very much welcome to this broadcast. Now, President William Ruto has committed to bringing the northeastern Kenya region at par with the rest of the country in terms of development. Speaking in Wajir ahead of the Madaraka Day celebrations, Ruto said he has directed relevant ministries to implement affirmative action in electricity, connectivity and teacher recruitment, among other measures in the region.
The Habaswein town in Wajir County Sunday played host to President William Ruto, who is touring the region ahead of the National Madaraka Day celebrations tomorrow. In his tour, President Ruto led in officially commissioning the 826 kilowatt peak Habaswein solar power plant. The president also commissioned the upgrading to bitumen standards of town roads.
Ati Habaswein mnasemaje? Na Wajir mnasemaje?
Later, the president addressed residents of Wajir in Habaswein town, Wajir South, where he pledged to expand electricity connectivity in a region that has historically lagged behind.
Mambo ya kawi ya kwamba tufanye affirmative action kwa watu wa Northern Kenya ili tuwaharakishie mambo ya connection ya electricity ndio washikane na wale wa Kenya wengine.
Education standards in the area are also set for a major boost, with the government promising to hire more teachers to address chronic staffing gaps.
Kila constituency hapa Northern Kenya tunawaongezea walimu 100 kila constituency. Huyu ado anajua. Ni kweli ama si kweli? Kwa sababu mimi sitaki tena ati kukitokea maneno kidogo watu wametoka kule kwetu wanahama.
Also top on the development agenda is an 800 million Kenya shillings allocation for affordable housing in the area, 150 million Kenya shillings for a modern market and a new airstrip. The president further pledged to ensure the completion of the critical Modogashe-Samata Road.
Hii barabara hii mwezi wa 6 hii tutakuwa na yule consultant. Mwezi wa 7 tunafanya procurement. Mwezi wa 8 mwisho mimi nakuja hapa kuanzisha hii barabara kutoka pale Modogashe mpaka Samata.
Munasemaje? 2027 politics also took center stage, with leaders from the region pledging their undivided support to the Kenya Kwanza administration.
Kuna contest ya MCA, kuna contest ya MP, kutakuwa na contest nani atanibadilisha, lakini tutahakikisha hakuna contest ya president katika hii county.
So tunamshukuru rais, kipande tumepata. Barabara ile tulikuwa tukisubiri miaka 60 sasa imeanzishwa.
And we want to confirm to all and sundry that the President William Ruto, the only crime he has committed to some people somewhere is because he said Kenya must be one.
Kamchemenza for Sunday Express.
Before landing in Wajir, the president launched the Rhino Ark endowment fund in Samburu County to boost conservation of water towers. He stated that his administration is committed to match the 100 million shillings seed capital from the Rhino Ark to the fund. President Ruto was speaking at the prize-giving ceremony of the 2026 Rhino Charge.
In 1989, the Rhino Ark fosters the conservation of Kenya's water towers with funding from the annual off-road motorsport charity christened the Rhino Charge. President William Ruto graced this year's event at the Ngilai Community Conservancy in Samburu County and officially launched the event legacy trust, the Rhino Ark Endowment Fund. The Rhino Ark provided a 100 million shilling seed capital to the kitty, upon which the president announced the government's commitment to match it shilling for shilling.
That single idea has grown into the most impactful conservation project this nation has ever known. 853 kilometers of electric fencing stand guard over our most vital ecosystems. This is an achievement of national importance.
The endowment fund ensures the continuity in the Rhino Ark's 39-year endeavor of fencing and protecting Kenya's water towers.
Rhino Charge has funded and raised over 2.7 billion that has supported wildlife, electric fences in the various areas, like we have been told, Aberdare, Mount Kenya, Eburu Forest, Kakamega, and Eastern Mau.
On behalf of the Rhino Chargers, I'd like to extend a thank you to members of the national and county governments who in this event and in so many events support us in ways that I can't even tell you. There are multiple layers of this event, multiple things going on, and we are incredibly grateful for the support of the government.
Among the competitors fitted today were top fundraisers Mark Glenn of Team 48 and overall winner Oliver Outram of Team Huzi. For Sunday Express, I am Daniel Wahome.
Let's circle back to Wajir County and the venue of the Madaraka Day celebrations tomorrow. The county, number 008, located in the arid northeastern region, is the third largest county by landmass. It serves as a major commercial and transport hub with links to Somalia and Ethiopia. It will be the first county in northern Kenya to host national celebrations. Here is a short profile of that region.
Wajir County is a vast region covering an area of approximately 56,773 square kilometers. According to the 2019 Kenya Population and Housing Census, the region has a population of 781,263. It is largely predominantly inhabited by the Somali ethnic community, with the Degodia, Ogaden and Ajuran clans being the most prominent. The local economy is mainly driven by livestock rearing, especially camels, cattle and goats. As a devolved unit, the executive of Wajir County is led by the Governor Ahmed Abdullahi. The legislative arm, the county assembly, has 30 who are elected and 15 nominated. In Parliament, Abbas Sheikh Hammed serves as the senator, while Fatuma Abdi Jeo is the countywoman representative. In the National Assembly, Wajir County has 6 constituencies represented by Mohammed Ado of Wajir South, Ibrahim Abdi Saneh of Wajir North, Dr. Adan Weliye Kainan of Elders, Hussein Abdi Bari of Tabaj, Adan Daud Wajir East, and Farah Yusuf of Wajir West. Hassan Abdi explains the meaning of Wajir.
County Wajir ni lugha ya Borna, maana yake ni mkuje pamoja, tusherekee pamoja. So Kiborna Wajir, ukisikia Kiborna ni wakuja pamoja. Kwa hivyo naomba Wakenya wakuja pamoja, wawe na sisi na tusherekee sikukuu ya Madaraka Day. Karibu wa Kenya.
Some of the oldest facilities in Wajir include Wajir Primary and Wajir School and Wajir District Hospital.
This is a place which we say an icon of education in Northern Frontier District. Most of the senior people in the government, most of those people, old people who are educated, came from here. It was harboring students all the way from Moyale, from Marsabit, from Siolo, from, Tana River. They were all coming from Garissa, from Mandera. They were all studying here in Wajir Primary School.
Then there is Orahe, a shallow well where herders used to bring their livestock to drink water.
There are a lot of things which took place. And the history, where there was a place called, whenever when we were children, we were told there's a place called, a plain called Korehi by that time. But you know, there are only two main roads which was used. The one coming from Garissa, heading to Mandera, and the other one coming from, going to the west side, which is Moyale. Those are the three, but now already there are so many places, so many, tarmac road, even up to the sub-counties.
This year, for the first time in the history of Kenya's national holiday celebrations, the county will host Madaraka Day festivities.
This event happening in Wajir, which is in the northern part of the country, is significant in the sense that it's happening for the first time, but also it's opening up the north, a region that has been known to be problematic with matters security.
The projects amount to a staggering 2.38 billion Kenya shillings, and that's just one constituency. We would not have dreamt of that in years past. We could not have dreamt of it, and we really, really appreciate the vision of national unity that President William Ruto is implementing right now.
Wajir is the first. Garissa does not, but we will get there. Wajir being the first is that Wajir has been given a head start in terms of development, in terms of job creation. The stadium was constructed by locals. Watu wa chini, watu wa bottom up, watu wa chini wamefaidika sana. They have gotten jobs because for us is to put money in pockets of those people at the bottom of the pyramid, and that is what we have experienced here.
Coming together, no wonder the country congregates tomorrow in the very county for the Madaraka Day celebrations. The national government, in the meantime, has invested 4 billion shillings to facilitate Wajir County to host the 63rd Madaraka Day celebrations tomorrow. Interior Principal Secretary Dr. Raymond Omolo says no costs has been spared to deliver a memorable commemoration of the national holiday. President William Ruto will lead Kenyans in marking the day at the Wajir Stadium, as Yusuf Farah now reports.
Madaraka Day, marked annually on June 1st, commemorates the day Kenya gained internal self-rule from colonialists. This year, Wajir County has the honors of hosting the national celebrations. And the national government has pulled all stops to make it a reality.
We have spent as a government close to 4 billion shillings just to help in improving the infrastructure. And this is alongside the other development that is going on across the county, whether it's in housing, whether it's in the building and construction of markets for the business community, the expansion of the road infrastructure, not just within Wajir town, but within the entirety of Wajir County.
Gates at Wajir Stadium will be opened at dawn.
By exactly 7, the gates shall be closed because the parade will be forming up. 7:30, the parade shall form up and will not be allowing movement.
Authorities have put in place appropriate measures to ease movement and ensure maximum security. All motorists coming from Garissa Habaswein direction and do not wish to attend the celebrations are advised to branch off 4 miles towards the Griftu stage to access town. Motorists coming from Moyale direction will be diverted to stage Griftu at Equity Bank roundabout area. The road will be completely closed and motorists using it are advised to access Wajir town using 4 miles.
So those who are coming for purposes of celebration, please feel free to sample and enjoy the Somali culture.
On Sunday, the 10,000-seater Wajir Stadium was abuzz with activity as different groups made last-minute preparations for what promises to be a one-of-a-kind national extravaganza. The county government of Wajir says it's ready to mark its place in the history of national holidays in Kenya, with this stadium ready to host the 63rd Madaraka Day celebrations. Yusufar reporting for Prime Edition in the county of...
And we'll be live from Wajir beginning tomorrow morning. Catch up with our team as it gives you round-the-clock coverage of the 63rd Madaraka Day celebrations. Now, to some politics now. The Linda Ground wing of the Orange Democratic Movement has ruled out chances of negotiating with the opposition outfit, with party leader Oburu Oginga committing to drive the broad-based agenda beyond 2027. And as Wycliffe Okech now reports, the party is gathering at Kisumu's Kirembe grounds on Sunday, resolved to support President William Ruto's re-election for what the leaders termed as the transformation of the region and the country.
Kirembe Grounds, Kisumu, the Linda Ground wing of the Orange Party, gathered its faithful in pursuit of unity and cohesion.
The people of this region are one indivisible and united people, and any engagement, present and future, can only be through the ODM party.
There is no way the Luo community will ever be divided. We must be united behind Dr. Oburu Oginga.
Party leader Oburu Oginga and the Luo community cultural leader Kiro Dungiranda underscoring the power of unity ahead of the 2027 general elections.
We are urging my people to remain strong and remain united, because unity is the foundation of success.
Oburu vowing to ensure ODM remains a solid unit amid post-Raila transition squabbles.
People who are competing with us, they should know that we are aiming at power in 2027.
Raundi hii tutajipanga kama Wanyanza kivyovyote vile. Muko tayari? We are going to be part of what? Government. Part of government now, part of government 2027, and the government 2032.
The Kirembe meeting reaffirmed its commitment to the broad-based arrangement, ruling out negotiation chances with the opposition.
I cannot lead my people to join with Gachagua. I don't want to join Gachagua.
Hatuwezi kubahatisha. Lazima tukae na Mheshimiwa Rais William Ruto. We must be prepared to analyze what is happening in our nation and make judgment given evidence of what the presidency is doing.
The elected residents were reminded to enlist as voters to accord ODM its much-needed strength if it was to actualize its demands in the awaited pre-election pact with the ruling UDA. Reporting for Channel 1 from Kisumu County, I am Wycliffe Okech.
In the meantime, United opposition leaders have scoffed at plans to put up an Ebola facility in Laikipia airbase for U.S. citizens already exposed to the virus in DRC. The leaders, including Wiper Patriotic Front leader Kalonzo Musyoka and former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua, say Kenya lacks a robust healthcare system and the move risks spreading the deadly disease to Kenyans. They spoke during the Thanksgiving and retirement ceremony of the Reverend Dr. Matthew Mwalwa at the AIC Karen in Nairobi.
The United opposition figures on Sunday joined voices opposing the establishment of an Ebola quarantine center in Kenya for Americans. Led by Wiper's Kalonzo Musyoka and DCP leader Rigathi Gachagua, the leaders told the U.S. government to adhere to court order stopping the implementation of the deal agreed with the Kenyan government.
I want to ask the United States of America, since there is a court order stopping the establishment of that center in Kenya, show us a way in observing the rule of law.
Speaking during the Thanksgiving and retirement ceremony of Reverend Dr. Matthew Mwalwa at AIC Karen in Nairobi, they alluded that Kenya has no medical capacity to contain the virus in the event it spreads in the country.
Let this thing never even come here. If Uganda have closed their border, as my brother said, how is it that we are allowing again anybody, even with the symptoms, to be allowed to come?
It cannot be that Kenya, we are so good, we are so magnanimous, that we are willing to take the risk that the United States is not willing to take.
Just the way the Americans have said they do not want Ebola on American soil. Ugandans are saying the same. We, the people of Kenya, are also saying we do not want Ebola in our country.
Kalonzo revealing a planned meeting with the U.S. Embassy officials on Tuesday over the matter.
The position we want to take as United Alternative Government is that on Tuesday, we're actually meeting the Charge, the American Charge, to have a thorough and honest conversation.
Sentiments echoed by Linda Mwananchi ODM faction during their rally in Machakos.
Marekani wenyewe wanasema, tunajua wale watu wako na hiyo ugonjwa wa Ebola ni watu wetu. They are American citizens. But they are not being allowed back into their own country. Because the American people need to be protected from Ebola.
Hiyo virusi ya Ebola, ikishika mzee wetu hapa, si ameenda? Ikishika mama yetu hapa, si wanaenda?
Elsewhere, leaders allied to the Kenya Kwanza administration pitched tent in Lugari, Kakamega County for a charm offensive.
Niko tayari kutembea na wenzangu wote as the first among equals, tuende tutafute, tufike mahali.
Kwa kura ijayo, tunaomba kiti namba 2 kwa William. Wangapi wanaunga mkono?
Led by Speaker of the National Assembly Moses Wetangula and other lawmakers drawn from Western Kenya region, they vowed to back President Ruto's presidential bid for development in return. Giverson Maina, Sunday Express.
Time for us to take a first breather right here on Channel 1. Don't go too far. We're coming back with more news, including sports.
Ni wakati mwingine wa kuhakikisha kuwa umefile KRA returns. Je, uko rada una challenge yoyote? Usiwe na shaka. KRA wakishirikiana na KBC Channel 1 wanakuja hapo ulipo kusaidia kufile returns na kulipia ushuru wako. Jiunge na msafara wa KRA Roadshow, uwe fiti mambo ya returns. Mnamo tarehe 2 mwezi Juni, tunazuru eneo la Nakuru Town. Kisha tuingie Mau Summit, tupenyeze hadi Molo, Elbagon, Njoro, mitaa ya Nakuru na kisha tumalizie Nakuru mjini. Tarehe 30 Juni iko mlangoni. Usingoje hadi dakika za mwisho. File KRA returns mapema. Ishi bila stress. Jijue, jibeta. KRA, tulipe ushuru, tujitegemee.
Are they zombies? I don't know.
Who are you? Requiem General of Rakshasa Street. And on this street here, I make the rules.
他们操控下的傀儡。
Welcome back to Sunday Express. The Child Welfare Society of Kenya is set to receive an additional 500 million shillings in the 2026-2027 financial year. This is after the National Assembly Committee on Social Protection successfully pushed for increased funding to strengthen child protection, emergency and rescue programs for vulnerable children. Committee Chairperson Alice Nganga and other members said that despite the prevailing fiscal constraints, the committee persuaded the head of state to approve the increased funding to ensure children under the care of CWSK receive adequate support.
Tumeona watoto wanaibiwa sana kule nje, lazima tungeongezea pesa, na tukaongea na rais na akakubali, kwa sababu lazima mpaka training ya wazazi iwe na kuambia vile hawawezi kaacha watoto wao kule nje, kwa sababu hata don't trust nobody.
I think we need a list of all the graduates with their courses that they have done, so that we hold a meeting with the Public Service Commission as a committee. We can visit the Public Service Commission and to make sure they are absorbed in their line of training.
So tungefuata hata waziri wa health CS Duale, hakikisha watoto wote na hawa ambao wanafanya hapa kazi wameandikishwa kwa SHA ndio waweze kupata matibabu bila kuhangaika.
The Hindu community in the country is calling on Kenyans not to abandon the vulnerable members of the society. Speaking when they held a procession to honor their God and pray for peace in the country, the community revealed that they are supporting around 28 vulnerable families within and outside Nairobi and supporting people living with disabilities. They also lauded the government for granting the freedom of worship in the country.
We did it in first year, then 12th year, now it's 24th year. So we have brought in 5 priests from India and about 12 artisans from India. So once they do all these pujas, we feel happy and we are sure that entire Kenya will benefit from this.
Initially we started with a bunch of children, maybe about 200 or 300. Now we have branched off into helping 2,000 orphans and destitute children in about 25 homes in and around Nairobi and some outside of Nairobi. This is the service that we give to the community as a whole.
So we have this freedom of worship, doing our worship, our prayers. We want to thank our His Excellency the President Ruto, giving that a freedom of worshipping our God. And this comes the unity in diversity. We respect all the religions. You know, Hinduism is not a religion, it is the way of life.
And as artificial intelligence rapidly reshapes economies, industries, and everyday life, the global conversation on technology's future has taken center stage in Tianjin, China. Thousands of innovators, policymakers, business leaders, and researchers from around the world have gathered for the 4-day World Intelligence Summit to showcase breakthroughs and explore the next frontier of intelligence development. Our reporter Gladys Mungai is in China and our reports.
At the World Intelligence Expo 2026 in China, the future is no longer a distant concept, it is unfolding now. From humanoid robots and autonomous vehicles to smart manufacturing and AI-powered solutions, cutting-edge technologies have grabbed the attention at the World Intelligence Summit in Tianjin in China. Participants at the event are exploring how artificial intelligence can drive economic growth, improve public services, and accelerate digital transformation.
We are increasingly using big data technologies to monitor tourism flows, improve destination management, optimize infrastructure planning, and enhance visitor satisfaction across the country.
We have also launched initiatives such as digital nomad visa to attract the global tech professionals, entrepreneurs, and AI talents to Gaza.
On opportunities and challenges of AI, focus is on innovation, governance, and internal cooperation.
We are expanding the integration of Alipay and WeChat Pay across tourism infrastructure, hospitality, retail, and transport services. We're also localizing destination content for Chinese digital platforms to better engage modern Chinese audience through authentic content travel experiences.
One of our flagship initiatives is Asana Hub, the largest international IT park in Central Asia, which today brings together 2,000 startups technology companies, investors, and digital talents from around the world.
Intelligent technologies are increasingly driving development, helping countries accelerate digital transformation while creating new opportunities for innovation and investment.
Smart city solutions are being integrated into tourism development through intelligent transport systems, digital navigation, public safety technologies, and smart urban services designed to improve both resident and visitor experience. Actively integrate artificial intelligence into public administration, education, finance, cybersecurity, transportation, and smart solutions. For example, autonomous taxi projects and drone delivery technologies are already being implemented in our country.
The experience at this expo has left no doubt that artificial intelligence can no longer be ignored, prompting a race to embrace intelligent technologies.
While inside the World Intelligence Expo in the year 2026, the world is technically on full display as leaders, tech experts, and innovators are displaying AI solutions that are redefining how the world will be doing business, communicating, as well as innovating. Reporting for KBC Channel 1 from the World Intelligence Expo in the year 2026 in Tianjin, in China. My name is Gladys Mungai.
Do you know what's inside that prepackaged food? Those unhealthy ultra-processed foods high in sugar, salt or unhealthy fats can lead to diseases.
According to the Ministry of Health, approximately 39% of all deaths in Kenya are as a result of non-communicable diseases such as obesity, diabetes, cancer and high blood pressure. The foods and drinks we consume every day can affect our health more than we realize.
Clear information on packages about what's in our food can help us have a healthy diet. From the Food Policy Coalition Kenya.
Kenya is shifting gears. From Nairobi to Mombasa, Nakuru to Kisumu, the electric revolution is already moving. Now, the conversation that drives it forward comes to KICC Nairobi, where Kenya Power, Electric Mobility Association of Kenya, EMAC, GIZ, government leaders, innovators, and investors will all be in one room during the 4th annual Kenya Power E-Mobility Conference and Expo 2026. Themed Aligning Policy, Infrastructure and Partnerships to Scale E-Mobility in Kenya. The conference will take place on 4th and 5th June 2026 at KICC Nairobi. Kenya Power, powering e-mobility, pamoja twanga. Watch it live only on KBC.
Welcome back. For close to 2 decades, Dr. Stanley Kamau has been at the forefront fighting Jigger infestation across the country. Through his Hadi Kenya Trust organization, Jigger eradication campaign carried out in affected areas countrywide has benefited millions of people, transforming their lives. And as John Kahiro reports, the organization has launched Kenya's first Jigger museum in Mokoyo area of Murang'a County to preserve his legacy of transformation and enlighten the current and future generations.
This is now the story. Just to welcome you, the history, the interventions, all those other.
Dr. Stanley Mwangi's passion to eradicate jiggers sprang from a personal encounter.
It was many years when I was in primary school. I was jigger infested. Yeah, and basically, from the year when I went back to the year 2007, I found that people are still infested with jiggers.
That lived yet painful experience marked the start of a mission.
Now, where I started this is because I realized that some of the children were not going to school. And in 2007, when I visited some homes, I realized even those adults, some of them who could have voted were not able to vote because of their toes. You have seen how the images are. Some of their hands are disfigured. Even walking to a polling station is a problem. And I realized that even those adults, they're not going to their farms. They're not able to attend to their farms. So even their civic rights were being denied because of this small free.
In the year 2007, from Mokoyo in Murang'a to a countrywide campaign in Jigger-infested areas came at a time the number of those affected was estimated at 2.4 million people.
People thought that it was an embarrassment to talk about jiggers. The political class thought that I'm trying to downplay their work. Finances was a problem because even sometimes we would actually write to a corporate and then a politician would go to that corporate and tell them not to give us the resources.
Jigger infestation has serious debilitating effects.
One cannot walk freely while experiencing pain, and also the affected people can get deformed toes or nails in severe cases.
From there, communities were mobilized, homes fumigated and the jiggers removed, enabling children to go back to schools and the adults to resume their nation-building activities.
What is very emotive is when I see the people who had suffered like this, or who had that kind of suffering, when I see them going back to school, when I see them doing weddings, that's a bit emotional for me. I feel that we did what we meant to have done. So what I want to tell you is that after I moved from Murang'a, we went to several other counties. And every county I went, I came back home with a few jiggers lapped on a paper.
What for?
I had an idea that one day I'll put them in the archives. I had an idea that jiggers will one day be a thing of the past.
Today, that chapter of struggle, pain and healing has been preserved, not as a reminder of a disease, but a record of transformation.
When I did my last baseline survey about a few months ago, I realized that we have less than 300,000 people who are Jigger infested. So I calculated and saw that we have done over 90% success story. And because Jiggers will one day end, I decided that my children and my great-grandchildren and other Kenyans who've been asking questions about jiggers, where do they thrive, how do they look like, who do they attack, I thought it's important to start this archive so that even in the next 100 years, those people who will come to study about jiggers, they can actually come here and do it.
Inside the Jigger Museum and Archive Center are photographs, treatment tools, testimonies and the records of a crisis once hidden in silence.
Like now, if you tell your children that they can walk barefoot, they will not understand because the floors were not cemented. You can see how they smeared the cow dung in the houses to prevent jiggers. So these are the things that I needed to put in here so that people can know that jiggers thrived in mud houses. We collected a lot of jiggers from so many counties. So here we have the jiggers that we have removed from people's legs. These ones.
He envisions to expand the archive into a research center, ensuring the struggle is never forgotten and never repeated.
From the 2.3 million Kenyans, now we are less than 300,000 people who are now infested in Kenya. And personally, I've been able to clean and wash over 3,000 people, personally, since we started. The future of a hard Kenya will be now more of prevention and control. Because I don't want to start now doing again the interventions. I don't want to remove jiggers from their feet and from their hands. I want to start programs that can now, as you know, jigger is an indicator of poverty. I want to do programs that now can be able to eradicate poverty.
But even with these successes, Dr. Stanley Kamau says the journey towards restoring hope to the vulnerable is far from over.
It's important that when we see anything that's ailing our society, it doesn't matter whether you are alone. It takes sacrifice a lot, and then you have to be consistency. Don't start something today. And again, don't do something so that you can benefit. Don't do something so that you can be elected to become a politician. Just do because you want to do it, and do for the sake of the community.
I'd urge communities to improve on their hygienic standards, thus helping in fighting the Jigger infestation menace.
John Kahiro for Sunday Express.
Fumigation, and when you come here...
Well, Dr. Stanley Kamau continues to shine, obviously, for the very initiative of fighting jiggers. Now, the English language professionals across Africa have raised concerns over a growing shortage of teachers and inadequate preparedness for curriculum reforms, warning that these challenges are undermining efforts to improve learning outcomes across the continent. Speaking during the 10th International Conference of the Africa English Language Teachers Association at the ZTech University, Africa, English Language Teachers Association President Mahamba Sebastian said that curriculum reforms across Africa require teachers to adopt new teaching approaches and embrace technology-driven learning.
The shifting of curriculum from the older model to the old one, the competence-based curriculums, is a super need for teachers to gather themselves just to give these kind of experiences for the conferences then. But also the technology issues in Africa. So we see a super shifting of technology right now. The emerging of AI, digital literacy issues are really challenging teachers.
And as Kenya grapples with recurring food insecurity, the effects of climate change and persistent crop pests, stakeholders are increasingly looking to biotechnology as a tool to strengthen agricultural production. The National Biosafety Authority, together with partners, brought together farmers, scientists and community members in Mumias for a 3-day public awareness forum on genetically modified organisms and emerging agricultural technologies. The forum sought to address misconceptions surrounding GMOs. Speaking during the event, the National Biosafety Authority Chairman David Wamatse said the government remains committed to achieving food security through science-based solutions and expert guidance.
And our farmers, GM iko na manufaa kabambe haswa kwa kukabiliana na hali ya anga na kufanya tuwe na more yields. Yani mbegu ambayo tunatumia inaweza kutoa mavuno bora.
Serikali zote ziligundua kwamba Wakenya wanahitaji chakula cha kutosha, na GMO ni kufanya chakula maybe ikuwe na resistance kwa anga, ikuwe na resistance kwa ugonjwa. Najua kuna maswali mengi watu wauliza. Nataka kuambia Wakenya na watu wa Mumias na Kakamega wote, GMO ambayo imeweka mkono na NBA iko safe kwa sababu ile mikakati imewekwa na serikali inahusisha NBA na mashirika mengine mingi ambayo inafanya kazi pamoja.
Projects around improving water and energy access across Africa, undertaken by various stakeholders in the sector, continue to grow to help communities, institutions and businesses meet essential needs through sustainable solutions. These and more stories make our County News Roundup.
While celebrating 80 years of operations in 11 African countries, the Davis and Shutcliffe Company announced plans to expand into West and North Africa as part of its long-term strategy as a pan-African provider of sustainable water, energy and digital infrastructure solutions.
We have got very good solutions, we've got very good products at various levels. We've got cheap sort of commodity products for basic domestic applications, and then we've got very sophisticated solutions for industries, for communities and so on.
Elsewhere, veteran journalist and the Kenya news agency Mombasa bureau chief Mohamed Hassan has retired. At his farewell ceremony, guests urged journalists to uphold high standards of ethics and professionalism.
Leo hii tunataka wanahabari washirikiane na wanasiasa, washirikiane na maimamu, washirikiane na wazee wa mitaa na watu wote kuelimisha watu juu ya mambo ya madawa ya kulevya.
In Embu County, a section of leaders have opposed and condemned plans to establish a US-backed Ebola quarantine center in the country, citing high risk of the disease spreading to Kenyans.
Na sasa we are attempting kuleta Ebola hapa Kenya.
we are saying our leaders, please let us be responsible. Let us care for the people wenye walitupatia nafasi ya kuongoza.
In Machakos, Glam on Wheels founder Captain Irene Danu graced a beauty trainee's graduation ceremony and urged communities to be proactive in protecting and empowering women to curb gender-based violence.
Tuwatunze na kuangalia watoto wetu ili kupunguza hivi visa. Sio tu mtoto wako yule ambaye unayemlea au ule mzaa, umwangalie pia na wajirani yako. Ili kwamba ikionekana kuna mtu au kitu ambacho si cha kawaida unapata kumsaidia. Na pia katika mauaji ya wanawake ningeomba tuwe na uvumilivu, tuvumiliane na pia mauaji haya yasitishwe.
Finally, Madaraka County has marked a major milestone in the digitization of healthcare, with Governor Irungo Kangata officially launching a countrywide satellite internet upgrade across all 170 public health facilities.
We have moved away from Wi-Fi internet, from fiber internet, to what is called satellite internet, provided by Starlink.
It also applies to private businesses, private enterprises. It applies to police stations, connecting the police stations, and so many more different uses.
Join Army Sunday Express.
Time for us to take yet another breather. On the other side of the studio is Okumu with sport, and of course we'll be telling you the latest regarding local sport, and of course the failed bid by Arsenal to clinch the Premier Champions League trophy. Don't go too far. And thank you so much for staying with us. It is time for the Sunday Express Sports. I'm Bernard Okumu. The National Women's Rugby 15s team, Kenya Lionesses, lost 20-33 to South Africa during the final of the Rugby Africa Women's Cup Encounter played today at Tarifio Grounds here in Nairobi. Alicia Oris scored South Africa's opening try before Kenya pulled level through Faith Livoy, with Kenya taking a slim 8-7 lead at halftime. South Africa picked up from where they had left at in the second half, regaining the lead shortly after restart after Naima Halishwayo, Logan Wellman and Jackie Sears added a try apiece to widen the visitors' advantage to 22-8. Despite Kenya putting up a late rally with Knight Otoma touching down for the crucial 5 points, South Africa held on to grab the emphatic 33-20 win. The win ensured that South Africa lifted their 5th consecutive Rugby Africa Women's Cup title. In the relegation fixture, Uganda defeated Madagascar 46-12 to send the latter to the division category next season. And now to athletics, where Shadrack Kipyegon stormed to victory in the men's 21-kilometer race at the Kitui Green Run, clocking an impressive 1 hour, 8 minutes and 30 seconds at Ithokwe Stadium. The Kitui Green Run brought together runners, residents and key stakeholders under the theme of promoting environmental sustainability through sports.
Kipyegon led a highly competitive field of athletes drawn from across the region. Robert Keter finished second in 1 hour, 8 minutes and 52 seconds, while Raymond Cheriot secured third place in 1 hour, 19 minutes and 6 seconds.
Ningeenda outside Kenya, ningekimbia leo huko South America, so sikupata visa. So juu sikupata visa na race ikatokea, nikasema juu nimekosa kwenda huko ngambo, wacha sasa nikuje juu race ni race. Nasema wacha nikuje nikimbie juu hata hii ni race.
In the women's 21-kilometer race, Christine Kioko delivered a commanding performance to take up top honors, crossing the finish line in 1 hour and 17 minutes.
Ilikuwa mzuri sana. Ilikuwa na obstacles ya milima mingi. Lakini Mungu amenisaidia, nimeweza kushinda siku ya leo.
Hata tuko na wachezaji ambao wamekuwa hapo mbeleni na wamefanya kazi mzuri sana kwa sababu ya kushinda hata huko dunia mzima na hata hapa nchini Kenya.
Hatukimbilii maji tu kwa sababu maji ni kidogo kabisa kulingana na mvua mambo inayoleta. Kwa hivyo tumekuja kukimbia kwa sababu ya zawadi ambayo Mwenyezi Mungu amekuwa akitupa kwa miaka yote ya maji kupitia kwa mvua ambayo tunaondokea yanaenda sehemu tofauti na kutuacha sisi tukiwa na shida.
The Kitui Green Run brought together runners, residents and key stakeholders under the theme of promoting sustainability through sports.
Tungetaka hichi kiwango kiende dunia nzima ili tuweze kukimbilia sababu ile ambayo inaitwa unity of purpose itawezekana kama sisi tunajua ni nini tunakimbilia, ni nini tunaungana ili tukifanya.
For Sunday Express, I'm Daniel Mwendwa.
And it's called running or doing sports for a worthy cause. That's the Kitui Green Run. Back to rugby again, where the National Rugby Sevens team Shuja finished 8th at the second leg of the HSBC Sevens World Championship Series in Valladolid, Spain, after losing to France 14-5 during their 7th place playoff held at Estadio Jose Zorrilla in Ahimo. Outward scored 2 converted tries to hand France the win, while Kenya pulled one back late in the game through John Okeyo and routed to the 7th place playoff. Kenya had lost to Australia and South Africa in the Group A matches, but regained their form to beat Great Britain in their final group matches, thus qualifying for the main cup quarterfinals, where they lost to Australia and were relegated to the 7th place playoff. Following the 8th place finish in Valladolid, Kenya is placed 8th on the 12-team standings with 14 points, while South Africa, Argentina and Australia are ranked in top 3 positions respectively. The final leg of the series is set to be held in Bordeaux, France on June 5th to 7th, with Kenya bidding to finish among the top 8 nations so as to retain its core status, with bottom 4 teams set to be relegated to Division 2 next season.
Neutrals, as they call them. The neutrals. And if you ever get the chance, here we go. Enamo Arto down the sideline, looking for his second score. He has snuck down the narrowest of channels. Gives it to John Okoth, who just about stays in field and scores for Kenya. They'll check it.
Try yes or no.
There it is. Try yes or no.
Try yes or no for you now.
AJ Jacobs looked okay from the naked eye in real time. Keeps his feet up.
And Gor Mahia officially crowned FKF Premier League champions today at Nyayo National Stadium, despite suffering a 1-0 defeat to Nairobi United in their final match of the campaign. The conclusion of the 2025 FKF Premier League season marks another successful chapter for Gor Mahia, who will now shift their focus to preparations for continental football following their latest domestic triumph.
Kogalo lifted the trophy after finishing at the top of the standings with 69 points, 5 points clear of the closest challengers AFC Leopards, who ended the campaign in second place. Former champions Kenya Police finished third on 55 points, while Nairobi United claimed fourth position with 53 points. Shabana FC completed the top 5 after an impressive campaign that saw them finish with 52 points. At the other end of the table, Kariobangi Sharks were relegated after failing to secure survival on the final day. They will join Bidco United and Sofapaka in dropping to the National Super League next season. The conclusion of the 2025 FKF Premier League season marks another successful chapter for Gor Mahia, who will now shift their focus to preparations for continental football following their last domestic triumph.
And finally, to European football now, where Gabriel Magalhaes skied the decisive sport kick as Arsenal were denied a first Champions League triumph in a penalty shootout defeat by Paris Saint-Germain, who won the competition for a second successive year. 22 years ago, Arsenal were beaten 2-1 by Barcelona in their first Champions League final, and the hope will clearly be that they don't have to wait as long for their next final. And Arsenal promised that they'll be back next year. Maybe they could just clinch it. Take a look. And well done to PSG for retaining the Champions League for the second time in a row. Definitely that puts them among the greats of European club football. But also commiserations for Arsenal, to be another time for them to try maybe next season. And just watching that particular commentary when the commentator goes after Magalhaes, skies his shot over the bar, you know, and whatever the commentator says, and compared to how Arsenal fans felt when they played West Ham, and that particular equalizer from West Ham was, you know, reversed. I don't know which one will make more. Will they put those tattoos again, like we saw when they drew, when the actually West Ham's goal was disallowed, and Arsenal won that one. But that's how football goes, and sometimes you have to go maybe talk to the gods or ask the football gods how was that possible. But that's it from me. Thank you so much for watching. Big week ahead. Wishing you Madaraka, happy one tomorrow. But also remember that the junior starlets who won yesterday went through to the third round of the Under-17 Women's FIFA World Cup. They'll be meeting South Africa in the third round of the qualifiers. And if they get past South Africa, then they'll be going to their second World Cup again in 3 years. South Africa did make it to the third round after seeing off Tanzania 2-0 on aggregate score today. That particular second leg was played today between Tanzania and South Africa. That's it from me. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Bernardo Kuma. Take you back to JJ to put a cap on today's Sunday Express. I don't think there's anybody who could inflict more damage on Arsenal tonight than Bernardo Kuma has. So I have nothing to add. Good night. Have a blessed night. See you around and enjoy Madaraka Day tomorrow.